Hi, I'm LDS in Medium, and thank you so much for tuning in today. I want to try to bring religion and spirituality closer together, and this is what this pod is all about. I will talk about my own thoughts and feelings as I am both LDS and have spiritual gifts, something that I've had my whole life, but I always thought that it was hard to combine these gifts with my religion. This has torn me into two directions, and I have talked to many people who feel the same way. I can't choose not to have my spiritual gifts, but I can choose how I use them. And I always want to use them for good and to help others. I believe my heavenly parents gave them to me for a reason. So, this is me. Join my quest for knowledge. So, I was actually thinking of not doing more on the chapter 12 in Life Your Way to a Better Marriage. I guess my sister had different plans since she labeled it part 1. So, I will continue by saying, I read an interesting post in one of the groups I'm in regarding this subject. It just really made the point clear for me after reading chapter 12 and then found this. I will keep it anonymous to protect the author, so let's read the post. Okay, here we go. This topic has already been addressed, but I'm going to address it again as it's baffling to me that this even has to be said, let alone that it's even an argument or discussion to begin with. A woman has bodily autonomy, obviously, but there seems to be this anti-sex mentality among a disturbingly large segment of women. I'm speaking for myself, but I'm confident that I'm speaking for a majority of men that I know. If I get the vibe from a girl that she's going to treat sex like a chore, or if she begrudgingly speaks about it, or doesn't speak about it in an enthusiastic, positive way, or like she's looking forward to it with me, this is flat out non-negotiable. Next girl, please. Women, this is the one incentive that draws men to marriage. It's sex and children, which you get by having sex, period. Truthfully, good men ask and expect very little of women, especially in a marriage relationship, in exchange for the benefits a woman receive from a good man in a marriage relationship. Men are the captain of the ship, or they are supposed to be. They are responsible not only for the physical lives of their wives and children, but the spiritual lives of their wives and children. If this ship goes down, as the captain, man, you go down with it. On Judgment Day, the accountability falls on us. That's a lot of freaking responsibility. Of course we provide. I touched on this briefly. Provisioning is of course far more than just the family's physical needs. Of course, it's that, but we have to provide love, sometimes tough love, to raise well-adjusted, successful children. This is all outside of work hours too. A father's involvement in the children's lives are absolutely critical to how well kids turn out. Then lastly, of course, there's the duty to protect. Whether it's a home invader, domestically, a pack of wild dogs on the street, a grizzly bear out in the woods on a family camping trip, or the sharks in the water while snorkeling on a family vacation to the Bahamas. We are the sacrificial, expendable human shield that saves your life in exchange for ours. In short, a real man who does what is expected of him is no small thing, even if it's treated as such or taken for granted like it often is. With all that said, I don't think wanting to engage in what should be a mutually enjoyable activity that you should want to do with your husband once in a while, who you supposedly love, like sex, is too much to ask. Yes, I get it. If on a given night or a bad week you're just not feeling it, that's understandable. We're all human beings here. But if you're saying no the majority of time, or if you are in get it over with mode most of the time, that's BS, and that's a problem. It's the number one thing your husband likely cares about, and if you actually love him at all, you'll know this, and you'll happily consent to it the majority of time. All the other stuff a husband insists that he cares about, cooking, cleaning, etc., all that is nice, but these attributes are distant, second and third and fourth, etc. to consensual, enthusiastic, loyal and frequent sexuality from the wife he loves. Anything less than this is unacceptable and non-negotiable. At least it is for me, or any straight man who has his head halfway screwed on right, or who has even an ounce of self-respect. The end. Here he states how important it is for men, and Mark rarely goes into just how important sex is for men. I get it, but then I missed the whole part of what the benefit is for the woman. I understand that the things the paycheck and providing is important, but listening to a lot of relationship advisors that points out that the most important for women is feeling chosen, seen, heard, and safe. So honestly, if we get those needs met, we, as women, I think, would be a whole lot more open to a more active sexual life. Or at least I would. I really enjoyed the act of having sex when I was married. I think it would have been even more fabulous if I have had these needs met. I miss it, but I don't miss the lack of intimacy, or the shutdown, or the shut out that was around it. Mark points out that in almost every marriage there is one spouse that is high-driven and one low-driven, and that the high-driven person tend to feel like the low-driven spouse rejects them, doesn't want them, while the low-driven person turns it around and feels like they don't want them either. They just want an outlet, and it could be just anyone. He puts it like this: high-desire spouses may withdraw and stop asking for sex since they feel so rejected, and low-desire spouses may put out a closed for business sign because they are constantly reminded that there is something wrong with them. I think this pattern is very common. I think it was in my marriage. I think my ex-husband found me very low-desired. However, I think it's because of my upbringing and our lack of communication skills, and that I thought that men should instigate, and I felt uncomfortable asking for sex. I have, all through my growing up, heard that good girls don't, and it's so strongly inside of me that it's been hard to break free from those invisible constraints. Reading this book has been so freeing in so many aspects, and talking about sex in a healthy way is also very freeing. I think we need to start lifting the silence ban on this topic and meet it with curiosity and respect. Now I feel done with chapter 12, but don't worry, because in chapter 13 we will get the 5 keys to great sex. I'm looking forward to reading this chapter. Until next time, be the light, share the light, spread the light, and shine. This is my journey. Thank you so much for keeping me company today. Please download, like, share, and subscribe, and help spread the light and spread the word to expand our community. Let's bring more love, peace, and unity to this world. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Always be grateful, kind, and loving. Be brave and remember to step out of your comfort zone and smile. If you support us on Patreon, you will get access to our meditations and extra materials so you can download them as MP3. Also, we now have a Facebook group, which you can access from our Facebook community. Please answer the questions as you apply to participate. It will be a safe haven where we can keep discussing religion and spirituality, our spiritual gifts, and self-development. Remember, one person can make a difference, but together we can change the world.